All right. Look, this is Bo Travels back for another video. I want to thank you guys for joining me. So, look, I was looking outside because, it snowed and it made me like consider doing another video. I needed to finish up my Iceland series, right? And so I'm like, what a good time to finish up the video on, at least my Golden Circle series, right? And so I want to talk about Gulfosss Waterfalls. Now, for those of you who are new to my channel, I'm the Black opinionated woman, also known as a Bo. Anyway, so I just wanted to go ahead and just talk to you guys about my experiences when I traveled to Iceland with my husband. We were celebrating our anniversary and we toured the Golden Circle. And I just wanted to give you my thoughts and my experiences from the Black perspective. Anyway, so I want to talk about Gulfosss Waterfall in Iceland. All right. And it's just, first of all, I want to say it's just like a really cool place to visit. Iceland is one of the most unique destinations, at least that I've been to around the world. And I don't want to toot my horn, but I have traveled to so many places. I have been to Turkey, Singapore, Thailand, Japan, China, Germany, Luxembourg, France, Spain. Um, um, I'm having a brain dump. Holland, uh, Belize, Hawaii. Well, that's the U.S. I've been to the Caribbean. I've been to different islands. I've been so many places around the world. But for some reason, I was really mesmerized by Iceland. So let's get into it. First of all, I just want to make a shout out to my lip color since my hair is not done. So I decided to put some lip gloss on so I won't look so crazy. I might still look crazy. Anyway, so let's just talk about Gulfosss Waterfall for a second. And put my glasses on like I did in one of the previous videos. These are not prescription, they're blue bloggers, but we're going to go with it. And I do have prescription glasses that look kind of like this. Anyway, Gulfosss is actually a two-tiered waterfall. Okay, now I don't know how to say this, but it's located on the Havita River, Hvita. It's got a little tick mark over Havita. I don't know how to say it, but it's located on the Havita River in southwest Iceland. And apparently, it's like one of the most powerful waterfalls in Europe. That's interesting. I did not know that. So like and I was looking it up on Google and it was talking about the sheer force of the water, like just actually going into this like rugged canyon, right? I don't know. But what I do know, I don't know anything about the force of the water. I know when I was there and I was looking at it, I was like, oh me, oh my. It was just amazing. It was amazing. I think I saw like 2 or 3 rainbows when I was there. And so anyway, apparently Gulfosss, according to the internet, means Golden Falls. I did not know that, hence the Golden Circle, but it means Golden Falls. And so they say like on sunny days, you might see rainbows forming in the mist. And it was misty, by the way. And I remember seeing like 2, I think it were like 2 rainbows. I can't remember, but I know I saw them. I was like, wow. Wow. Anyway, it is windy here at Gulfosss Waterfall. The sheer force of the way this water, and it makes sense, right? Because if you think about just gravity, like the higher up, you have all this stored potential energy. Yes, I'm a techie person. Yes, I'm an engineer, but think about it. The higher up you are, you have more stored energy. So this waterfall, this water is falling. It's just, I don't know. It was just, it was like, and it was just so pretty and it was so open and it was golden and it was cold and it was everything, everything. So look, before I go any further, I just want to say, if you are even remotely enjoying what I have to say, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, okay? Because like I'm amazing in every way. Honestly, I think I'm amazing. I think this is a great video and I haven't even finished the video. But if you actually like what I'm saying, go ahead, give me a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts. If you have visited, maybe I'm just extra, I don't know. But if you have visited, let me know what you think about it. Were you like impressed? I know I was. I was thoroughly impressed. But anyway, I just want to talk about where it is. I want to move on, but I want to talk about where it is on the Golden Circle. So, like, my husband and I were in Iceland, okay, for our anniversary, and we had about maybe close to 4 days. We didn't have a whole lot of time because I have like 500 kids. Okay, so I have 4 kids. But at the time, I didn't have like a long period of time for coverage, right? So we had to figure out how are we going to maximize our time there. And so one of the things we did was we toured the Golden Circle in a day, did almost everything in a day. And so Gulfosss Waterfalls is one of the key stops on the Golden Circle, right? Um, and I don't know. I feel like if you want to get most bang for your buck, I would suggest doing the Golden Circle. So we went there. It's a pretty popular tourist destination, right? You're going to see a lot of people lined up taking pictures and everything like that. And keep in mind, you know, Iceland's kind of like the land of the Vikings, in my opinion, right? So there's a lot of tall people, and I'm not really like short. I'm 5'6", right? So, but I felt like I was like, "Hello there, giant. Can you like move out the way so I can get my picture?" So it was kind of like, everybody's so big here. So, but yeah, it was one of those places where there's like so many people want to go there. But oddly enough, I felt like I wasn't really struggling for space per se. If anything, it was more like the people were just tall. But it is a popular location. They have a really cool gift shop there, by the way. I mean, everything in Iceland is expensive, but it was really cool. I like the gift shop. Um, I got all kinds of little neat things out of there. I mean, I may be poor now because of it, but the gift shop was actually pretty cool. But it's pretty accessible from Reykjavik Airport. So it's really, really, it's a perfect thing to do if you're like a day traveler, and you can do this on your own. You do not have to pay um, a tourist company to do this. Like my husband and I, we rented a car. Like I saw so many people did the same thing. It's kind of like almost like 50-50 from my perspective. We rented a car. Some people did, some people didn't. And you drive there. Some people wanted to be on the bus. I liked being in a car. I can go do what I needed to do. Most of us are going to the same locations on the Golden Circle, but it was really like um, easy. It was easy. Anyway, I would just say you can do this on your own. Now, for those who look like me, let me just say this. I did not see a bunch of Black people visiting Iceland. Okay. Now, these are just my tips for Black people. I did see a guy getting off the plane and he had like all this photography equipment. I don't know if he was working for like a website or a magazine or a company, like a travel company or something, but he was there to take all kinds of photos and he was going to be there for some significant period of time. I don't know if he was doing like the whole ring road. Was it ring road? For those of you who are interested, I'll just say this. When you're visiting Iceland, they have these like itineraries where you can do it, like you can go online, do a simple search. You can say like travel itinerary or whatever, and it'll give you like the Golden Circle or Ring Road. And then you can even narrow it down to the number of days. So if you're like Golden Circle 3-day itinerary, Golden Circle 1-day itinerary, whatever, right? So anyway, I don't know which thing he was doing, but he was there for a period of time. All right. But for the blackity blacks, I just want to say that although there weren't that many Black people there, apparently more and more Black people are starting to visit this location. I mean, I saw a handful. We saw some. I remember we were eating in Reykjavik. And I remember I think there was a couple of Black girls or something like that. We saw some Black people getting off the plane. I saw the guy who was with photography equipment. And then in town, I guess where the local university was, I saw a handful of Black people there. The point I'm getting at is I actually did not feel uncomfortable at all being there. The people in Iceland are very nice and they're very kind. They're not warm people, but they're polite. Like if you talk to them, they're going to talk back, right? You know, like how when you visit some places, the people are really warm. In Iceland, I felt like the people were really nice and polite. And if you engage in conversation, they will engage back. And it's like blah, 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 blah. And y'all know I'm a talker. And I had a good time. But for my girlies, my natural girlies, I would just say this: make sure you bring your hair products, number one. Number two, if you think you're going to show up with a fresh blowout and that is going to remain like a really pretty blowout, there is a level of delusion because, as I've said in previous videos, the environment in Iceland is spectacular in terms of it just changes. And I honestly believe that Iceland has ADD. It really does. So it may mist, it may rain, it may snow, it might be windy, it may not be windy, it might be super cold, or it might be just a little bit cold. It might be a lot of bit cold. It doesn't know what it wants to be. So when you're going to these places like these waterfalls and geysers and geothermal spas and whatever it is, there's water everywhere, there's mist everywhere. Your hair is going to be like, no, it wants to revert back into its natural curl pattern or at least be puffy, right? So unless you have like a super keratin or a relaxer or something, I mean, do people still get relaxers? I think a lot of people are going back to relaxers. I don't know. But unless you have something going on, or you have your own personal stylist or something like that, I'm just saying, like, if you want to wear your hair straight, there's nothing wrong with that. Just be prepared that you will be flat ironing your hair. So I would suggest either letting it be in its fully natural state. And I almost did that. I almost just went in with like my natural hair, or braid it up. I'm not saying you have to, but I think that the environment is not necessarily conducive for wearing your hair straight when you're visiting these locations because there's moisture in the air. So even when it's like brick cold and you're like, there's still moisture in the air. And make sure you bring some really good lotion or whatever like that. Now, I would argue that you can actually use their products too, because they have all kinds of really great beauty products. I did not partake in a whole bunch of their beauty products because I just didn't. I don't know why. And I meant to buy some because I don't know. I wanted to buy some. Every time I go someplace, I like to try the local beauty products and stuff like that. But I would suggest for your hair purposes, if you think that you're going to not be affected by the elements. I'll give you a good example. Right towards the end of us touring the Golden Circle, I think we went to, what was it, the Carrot Crater? My husband and I were tired at this point. We got there, we got out of the car, and on our way to go look at the crater, the volcano crater, we actually turned around. We're like, yeah, we're done. We're over it. We didn't actually see the crater. We got there, but it was so cold and chilly at this point, and it started to like rain, not like mist. It was starting to rain. I was like, yeah, I don't want to. No. And my husband's like, you don't want to? All right, cool. The point I'm getting at is make sure you wear travel friendly hair. But I will say too, if you're going to show up to Iceland, make sure that you have the proper equipment. So you want to be warm for sure. And I would primarily even focus on your footwear, because when you're out visiting these various locations or touring these various locations, depending on where you are, there might be moisture or whatever like that, and you don't want your feet to get cold. One of the places I visited, I remember getting out of our car and I was walking across, I think it was Portofus with Thorofus Waterfalls. And I remember walking across the grass, I guess is what you would call the grass and the rocks or whatever. And there was moisture out there and it wasn't warm. And my feet were like, no. It was like, no. Because I didn't have on the right shoes. Fortunately, we kept the car warm as we were visiting, and some of the places we went to, I was able to kind of halfway let my feet dry out a little bit. And I managed throughout the day, but definitely you want to have the right kind of shoes. But dress warmly, because Iceland has ADD. Full on ADD, and make sure you do engage with the locals though, because it's cool. Like you learn a lot. They'll talk. They're awesome. It's just that, like I said, when you first reach out, like I didn't find them to be like warm people. I found them to be polite and friendly. And I don't know if that makes a difference. But then as you talk, then they're laughing and you're laughing, and it's great. And you'll learn so much. And remember, take a whole lot of pictures. Take a whole lot of pictures. Um, I'm not a professional camera woman, so I use my regular old regular like iPhone, and I thought it came out fine. There are people who were like amazing, but like the super lens that went out to my husband wanted to bring his stuff. I'm glad he did not. I just used a regular just iPhone. Anyway, that's pretty much it. So there you have it. I just wanted to give it to you from the Black person's perspective. Um, I'm curious to your thoughts and your feedback on this video. Like, did you visit? I'm going to be honest. I actually do want to go back to Iceland and visit one more time because there were some experiences I didn't get a chance to experience, such as I did not get a chance to see the Northern Lights. So I got like almost like an alternative when I went to visit the Perla Museum, and they had this 3D like dome or whatever, and it was like panoramic, and they kind of gave you that Northern Lights experience. But I want to actually go see the Northern Lights. I want to experience the black sand and the puffins, and the Penis Museum. I think, what was it called? The Phallic Museum. Look, don't judge. Don't judge. I honestly think my husband distracted me because I wanted to go to the Penis Museum. It was in Reykjavik. And yeah, I wanted to see it. Don't judge. If you have a museum that's about that thing, I mean, I want to know what it's about. So anyway, if you're planning to go to Iceland, just try to experience different things. I think Black people, we have to get out of this whole notion that if we're traveling, we should travel only to the Caribbean. I love the Caribbean, but I want to see something else. I want to do something else. I want to taste something else. I want to experience something else. So let's go try something else, and then we can always go back to what makes us feel good. But Iceland is beautiful. It's truly the land of fire and ice. It has every type of, I don't know, environment other than like the Caribbean, like tropics, right? You got mountains, you've got the beaches, you've got you've got everything. You've got the glaciers. I didn't get a chance to see any glaciers. You've got the puffins and their wildlife, and you got the geothermal spas. You've got the waterfalls. The whole countryside is just amazing. I think if you take a chance and go experience that, I really don't think you're going to regret it. But let me know what you think, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care.